Grand Rising family, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. This morning, Spirit says that I'm doing something a little different. Work with me, family, work with me. Only thing Spirit gave me was your spiritual phone call. Bring, 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 bring. Hello? Hello? Hey, this is Spirit. I've been calling you and leaving messages and texting you. And the last time we talked, you put me on hold. And I was on hold for so long, I hung up and decided to call back. Last time I was talking to you, I gave you some good stuff and you were moving in that information. But you didn't take everything that I had given you and moved in that. You kind of just took what I gave you and you just went your own way. You didn't hear everything that I was saying to you. And that's okay because you moved in some of that. But what I needed you to do was I needed for you to fully listen. Because some of the things that you're doing, I'm directing you down one way and you're going down that way. But what you're not doing is fully immersing yourself in the way that I'm leading you down. When the phone rings, not everybody answers it when Spirit calls. But when you pick up the phone and you answer it, you need to be willing to hear all that Spirit has to say. The problem with some of us is sometimes we hear things, we get things, and we just run with that little bit. When what we don't do is we ask Spirit, can I get more information? What do you mean by that? Where do I go with this? Let me sit with you in this information that you've just given me. Because sometimes the phone call that you're getting from Spirit, that you're not answering, that you're letting go to voicemail, that you're making Spirit text you on, sometimes that message is the message that you literally need to hear right that moment, because Spirit has a very... Spirit has something right in that moment that you need to hear. That's paving another part of your road through the universe. And this message isn't for everybody. Please understand, I didn't get this morning for this to be for everybody. When I wrote this down in my notes on one of my little pieces of paper that's floating around here as a topic, this has been probably a month ago. And I've said it a couple times. I've said it in the mystery school that I'm in. You answered the call. You answered the call. But just because you answered the call doesn't mean that you're listening to what's on the other end of the line. How many times have you answered the phone, someone's talking to you and you zone out and you're doing something else? That's what's happening right now with some of you. You're catching a little bit and you're doing something else. But what Spirit is telling you, what you feel in your gut from the universe, you start doing something else in that moment. And you're not paying attention. You're not listening because you think that something is being repeated that you already know. No, something is being repeated with a few extra words added or changed that make all the difference. That's like saying, I was once a goddess. And me saying, I am a goddess. Word change. And you're going to keep getting calls. Spirit is going to keep calling you. Sometimes Spirit is going to give you jokes. I ain't even going to flex. You're going to get jokes. Because sometimes that's what you need. But what happens is sometimes you put the phone down, thinking, Spirit is there. But you put the phone down while Spirit is talking and you don't know Spirit is hung up. What's the point in having a conversation with somebody who isn't even listening? I picked up a very, very, very valuable jewel. After I got that spiritual phone call to put in my notes to talk to you about, I was given a jewel. I didn't even link them together, but Spirit said that they go together. And who this is for, you will understand why this goes together. Please understand this. And I'm going to come back and visit this because Spirit said that this is worth coming back and visiting. But for right now, whoever you are, the Spirit has given me this message so heavy for this morning. You need to know that you are not required to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. You are not required to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. Because that's why you're setting down the phone. That's why you're not listening. Making so much sense. Because you don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the levels of your habits. So if you're trying to rise to the level of your dreams, why is your habit to put the phone down? Why is your habit to zone out while the most important conversation you need to be having isn't the one that you're listening to? When Spirit knows that you're not listening, it doesn't mean that the messages stop because you're still walking on the path. You're still going on your journey. It just means that the messages slow down because you keep hanging up the phone. You keep getting a little bit and just running with the little bit that you're getting. Not asking, is there more to that little bit? Because in that little bit that the universe is putting inside of you, you're not asking Spirit what else goes with it, what makes that little bit a lot. See, a lot of things are making sense for me right now in some of the topics that I've been talking about, and how everything has been shifting and moving. Your spiritual phone call is the most important call that you make every day. I didn't say it's the most important call that you receive. It's the most important call that you make. You need to call Spirit. You need to let the universe know that you know the number. And you may not know all the digits, but the fact that you're calling, trying to figure out the number says something. And your spiritual phone call number is different than mine. It's different than his. It's different than hers. It's different than theirs. But you need to call. Because when Spirit calls you, yes. When Spirit calls you, leaves you the message, or you get sidetracked, Spirit wants to know, are you calling back? Are you calling back, Spirit, to finish the conversation? Are you calling back, Spirit, to talk about what it is that you're aspiring for? Have you dialed in to call the universe to say, this is the path that I am walking proudly, and my place is here in the universe amongst these stars, and this is what I'm doing? Have you done that? Because there's hearing the phone ring. Bring, 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 bring. There's answering the call, not saying anything. There's answering the call, engaging in conversation, and then setting the phone down and doing whatever. There's answering the call and then going, because you're doing other stuff. Then there's answering the call, engaging in the conversation. And then when the conversation is over, you think about it. And you call back. Even in the midst of you getting sidetracked, call back. This isn't for everybody. Spirit told me that from the jump. This isn't for everybody. But I had to do this right now, because Spirit said this is for somebody. Answer the phone and engage in the conversation, baby. you can't get what you're asking for if you don't engage in the conversation. I love you, family. That's all Spirit's got for me right now. So that's all I got for you. I love you. I appreciate you. Peace.